Better at Chess Nation. What is going on? This is Terrence B. Welcome to day 22. So for the next 8 days, I'll separate them 4 days each, but for the next 8 days, I'm going to be going over stuff to give you a preview of what's to come with my new tactics and strategy series. So today, we're actually going to talk about something called a fork or double attack and pins. So again, this is just to give you a preview of what I'm going to talk about in my tactics and strategy series, which is coming directly after this series. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, watch the whole video, and if you like the video, please like it and share it with your friends. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what just happened is our opponent took our pawn, so that this rook is threatening our queen. So what could we do here? Well, I see that. And what's going to happen there is that's going to put the king in check where the king has to move. And the king won't be able to go here because this pawn is there. So they'll have to go there. And then from there, this rook can come here, take this knight. The king will have to move there. This queen that is right here will fly all the way over here, putting the king in checkmate. Okay, so they decide to block. It's not going to make a difference. So, in this case, they didn't really show us what was next, but that's essentially what's going to happen next. So the queen that was here, black's queen decided to jump there. We, of course, took. Black's queen was unprotected. The king is going to jump here next move. The king doesn't really have a choice there. It can't stay on this row because the queen is there. It can't jump here because of this pawn. So it's going to jump to this square right here. The rook is going to come take. The king is going to have to move forward one, where this queen jumps here, delivering checkmate. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so the bishop just moved down to threaten our queen. We can't just take this bishop here because this knight is protecting the bishop. So what are we to do? Now, we actually, you know what? We can take the bishop. We can take the bishop. This knight is going to have to make a decision. Am I going to take the queen back, sacrificing my queen? Or am I just going to, do something entirely? So let's see what our opponent does. But we're going to take this bit. Oh, we're not going to take the bishop. Okay. Okay, so maybe we just take. Okay. Yeah, so they decide, okay, we're going to take the knight instead, which probably makes more sense. So we take the knight. They take our queen. We take their queen. They decide, okay, well, I'm going to take this pawn right here. You take their bishop. So that, in the end, that works out better for you. Now, of course, next move, they're just going to take this bishop. So get back some material. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so our opponent moved the king out of check. Very good. So now, let's see, where do we want to go? We can probably come there. We come there, the king will probably move here. Then if we're here, we're going to move back. We're going to go back down to that 8th rank and go there. The king's going to be forced to go this way. And once the king is here, we'll probably go there. Then the king will either swing this way. Well, yeah, actually, the king will have to swing that way because this knight is protecting the square. So, you know what? Let's see how this turns out. That's not it. What? Is that it? Okay, of course that's it. Let's see. So how will we go about it? Oh, okay. So we decided to come from here to here instead, putting the king in check. So the king can't go here, of course, and anywhere on this diagonal because the queen is attacking that. So it's forced to come there. We just bring our bishop there. That's checkmate. Okay, so that was simpler than what I had in mind. So, gosh, I must be really rusty. Okay, so, Okay. So this rook is pinning this bishop to the king. So if we can find a way to attack this queen, we might be able to get rid of the queen early. So how should we go about that? Now, let's see here. What else could we do? I mean, we can add more pressure to that bishop by putting our bishop here. Let's see if that's the start. That is the start. Okay. So I would probably move my knight first. Okay. So in that case, yeah, take the knight out. And then after taking the knight out, see this queen, they're gonna have a decision to make. It more than likely they'll probably take the knight, either with the queen or this pawn, probably the pawn, and then you're gonna swoop in with that bishop. The queen is either gonna, if the queen moves, then you're just gonna move your bishop. You'll move your bishop out the way somewhere. That way, there's a discovered check. Once your bishop that is right here moves, there's a discovered check by this rook on the king. So that's essentially what the rest of the plan is gonna be there. So, black is gonna try to get rid of white's queen if possible. Now, white's queen, it can take this piece if it wants to. If it does that, then black probably swoop in with this rook. The king will be forced to go this way, and then black's rook could probably come back here, lining up with the queen. That's going to have a check right there. The king can move this way, and then you're going to swoop and take the queen that's right there. So as you can see, this position is very important, and a lot of different things can happen here. But all this is possible because of this pin right here. This bishop is pinned to the king because if the bishop moves, the king is in check, and you can't put yourself in check. So this bishop is stuck right there. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so our opponent moved the bishop from, e7 to d6. So, what do we want to do here? I see us moving this pawn up, right? This knight will come here. You can probably take back. And if they take back with the bishop, you just take back with your queen. So that's a, nice little exchange there. But is there a simpler exchange? Maybe not even simpler. Is there a better exchange? I'm not really seeing one. So let's do that. Okay. Hey, they just decided to take. So we take back with our knight, and then we're just going to take with the queen. So we get out. So we took a pawn, a bishop, and a knight. They took our pawn and a knight. So we're up a bishop. All right, let's keep it going. Let's do this, man. Okay, so here's what I see. I see you exchanging queens. Your opponent is, of course, going to take back with this rook here. Then you get this knight right here. So this knight is just hanging right now. Thing is, you don't want to take the knight first because your queen is also hanging. And if your queen, if your opponent, white, takes your queen right here, your king is forced to move. And, this queen will just, it's not going to take the rook next move because, your king will be right here. But, black would start to lose. It'll actually come up and take this pawn, and then, black's going to be in trouble. It's going to have to keep moving around the board. So your king is already vulnerable because there's not a lot of protection here in front of your king. You have this pawn right here, but this pawn isn't really doing too much. White could always come here. That puts you in check. I mean, you can bring this back. You can bring this knight back, but this pawn could take. So that's not really helpful. And then you would almost be forced to take back with that pawn. Otherwise, they will take back on the next move. So it's a lot of different things that can happen here. So we don't want those things to happen. So to prevent that, we're going to exchange queens. White decide to take your queen back. You're going to put your bishop. You're going to take the knight. And now you're just going to... what are you going to do? You can't take back. With a thorn. Do you go there? Okay, you go there. So you jump out the way. Your rook is exposed, but your king is there. So, and white can't really do much about it. So white can choose to exchange the rooks if it wants to. If it doesn't, then it'll just move the rook back. All's fair in love and war, right? All right, let's do another one. Man, I am not on fire today with these puzzles. That's okay though. That is okay. So okay. Actually, this is so this one is well, this one is like a double attack here. See, what's gonna happen is you see your queen is right behind this bishop, but if you see that this bishop moves, your opponent's queen is going to be out in the open for you to attack and potentially take. So what we need to do is we need to look for setups like that. So for white, if they're looking at this, technically this bishop is pinned to this queen, right? Because if this bishop moves, then your queen is exposed. Now you do have protection from these two rooks here and this knight right here. So your queen is not really exposed. However, this bishop is good for you, and well, I mean, it's okay for your opponent, but it's really good for you just because if your bishop moves here, it's putting the king in check. The king has to get out of check, which is leaving the queen exposed because this queen has no protection back here. So that's the type of things you're going to look for when it comes to pins, forks, double attack, stuff like that. You're going to look for forcing moves like that. And forcing move is essentially putting the king in check. And now why you put them in check? Like you can put them in check because moving that piece in check reveals attack on another piece. It can be put them in check because you want your opponent's king to move to a different square. You can put them in check because that might be the only move you have. Like there are different reasons to put your opponent in check. So what you want to do, and as you learn different tactics and strategies, you'll find out which move is the most logical move. As you learn different tactics, strategies, different openings, just different nuances, the little stuff and the big stuff, you'll see that the more you learn about chess, the more the game actually makes sense. Right? And you don't always understand what your opponent's doing, but a seasoned opponent will know what they're doing and they'll just go about it a different way that might not be obvious to you. But because they have training in different things and they understand the little things as well as the big thing about chess, it makes sense to them. And then if they break it down, it actually will make sense to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this bishop is eyeing down this square right here. If we put our bishop here, it's automatically putting the king in check. The king has to get out of check. So it's either going to be by this knight or by the king. They probably going to move the king over because they don't want the bishop to take the knight. Even though on the next move, it's the queen is going to take, because your queen is going to take your opponent's queen because queen is unprotected, and this bishop is revealing an attack on the queen. So you're going to come there. White decide to move the queen again. You do that. You take your opponent's queen. So let's go to the next one. Okay. So, So this bishop is not necessarily pinned here, but there's a potential for a pin. If white moves his bishop, I don't know, right here, right? Now this rook is eyeing down the same file the king is on. So then your bishop in front of you would not be able to move, because if you move this bishop, you'll be putting yourself in check, and you can't put yourself in check. So so we can move that up because this knight will be protecting. Bishop might take, then you just take back. If the bishop doesn't take, the bishop will come here to protect the knight. So when you take the knight, let's move that up one. Okay, they decided to move that. Okay, and that's fair because they're going to take this knight. You'll probably take back with this pawn. But this bishop, again, is going to be pinned to your king, which means this bishop can't move. So we're going to take there. Okay, they decide to do that. You're just going to take back with your pawn. More than likely, they'll use this pawn, take this pawn back. And that's that. All right, let's do 2 more here. Okay. So the knight was here and decided to move here. So it's coming into this. The knight, your opponent's knight is officially on your side of the board. So you want to be careful when pieces get to your side of the board. And the reason you want to be careful of that is because, I mean, you could potentially become under attack when your opponent crosses the halfway point in the middle of the board. Because once they cross that halfway point, they're officially in your territory. So you want to keep them out of your territory. And if they do get in your territory, you want to trap them. So either they have to waste time moving, or you can set a trap for them and capture that piece that decides to step into your territory. So with that being said, how should we go about attacking this knight? One move I see is moving your queen here, and that's going to be attacking this knight and putting the king in check. The knight could always jump back here. Then you can move one of these pawns up. This pawn will probably take, then you move that pawn up, and then that knight is hanging because this queen is here. And you know, this knight, by moving back to the square, it's pinning itself to the king. So let's see what that does. Okay, they decide to move back, so we're gonna move this pawn up. Okay, and they decide to move their queen up. You know, they also could have moved the bishop up to protect the knight. They thought it was better to move the queen up, so we're just gonna take the knight. And now this pawn is probably gonna take, or this queen is gonna take, hoping that you take the queen. That way they can take with the pawn, and it's just an even exchange. Does that need to happen? No, it doesn't need to. Something else entirely could happen. So I've seen crazier things happen. All right, let's do one more here. Okay, so our opponent decided to move their king from here to in the corner. So what do we want to do? Our knight could take this bishop right here, and that's going to fork the queen and fork the rook. So there's one idea. The queen, of course, is going to move because your queen is more valuable than a rook. But your rook is not more valuable than his knight. So I'm going to say we're going to take that bishop. The queen, of course, move. And again, the rook, or this knight, is not more valuable than this rook. So it is in your best interest to take a more powerful piece with a less powerful piece, such as this. Okay. So guys, people, that was day 22. This is a sample of what forks and pins are. Now, of course, hopefully you got a good idea of what a fork and a pin are. However, there's always more to learn, and there's more breakdown, more analysis of this. So this will be one of the first lessons I go through in the Tactics and Strategy series coming up after this 30-day challenge is over. But as per usual, if you like the video, give it 2 thumbs up. Okay, well, you don't do 1 thumb. So give it a thumbs up. If you have any thoughts on the video, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you want to see something else? Did you want to see more of this? Do you need this video to, whatever your thoughts are on the video, let me know in the comment section below. If you know somebody who will be interested in this video, please share it with them via social media, text message, carrier pigeon, letter in the mail, whatever you need to do. Please share it with them. Also, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Become a part of Better at Chess Nation so you can get more exciting chess content like this. This is day 22 of the 30-day chess puzzle challenge. I'm Terrence B. I'm signing off. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Later.